Text 23. Para, Paravyometi Boishe Narayana Nama Shadaishwarya Purna Lakshmikanta Bhagavan. Paravyometi Boise Narayana
नारायण नाम
Nama
षड
Shadaishwarya
ऐश्वर्य पूर्ण
Purna
लक्ष्मीकांत
Lakshmikanta
भगवान
Bhagavan. Paravyometi Boise Narayana Nama Shadaishwarya Purna Lakshmikanta Bhagavan. We'll also cover the 24th verse. So let's read that. Veda Bhagavata Upanishata Agama Purna Tattvayare Kaheya Nahi Yara Sama. Veda Bhagavata Upanishata Agama Purna Tattvayare Kaha Nahi Yara Sama. Veda Bhagavata Upanishata Agama Purna Tattvayare Kahe Nahi Nahi Yara Sama. So we'll read the synonyms. Paravyometi. Please repeat after me. Paravyometi.
परव्योमिते
In the transcendental world,
in the transcendental world
Boishe
वैसे
sits
sits
Narayana,
Narayana,
Lord Narayana,
Lord Narayana,
Nama
नामा
of the name,
of the name,
Shat Aishwarya
Shat
ऐश्वर्य
Aishwarya,
of 6 kinds of opulences,
of 6 kinds of opulences,
Purna,
Purna,
full,
Full,
Lakshmi Kanta,
Lakshmi Kanta,
the husband of the goddess of opulence,
the
the
husband of the
goddess of
opulence,
Bhagavan,
भगवान
the supreme personality of Godhead,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Veda,
Veda,
the Vedas,
the Vedas,
Vedas
Upanishads,
Upanishads,
the Upanishads,
the Upanishads,
Agama,
agama
other transcendental literatures,
other transcendental literatures,
literature
Purna Tattva,
Purna
पूर्ण
Tattva,
तत्व
full truths,
full
full
truth,
Yare,
या है
unto whom,
unto
unto
whom,
Kohe,
Kohe,
they say,
they
they
say
say,
Nahi,
Nahi,
there is not,
there is not
Yara,
yara
whose,
whose
Sama,
sama
equal.
equal
Translation and purport by His Divinity Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This is a translation for verse 23. Lord Narayana, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in 6 opulences. He is the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Goddess of Fortune. This is the translation for verse 24. The personality of Godhead is He who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to him. Purport. There are innumerable authoritative statements in the Vedas regarding the personal feature of the absolute truth. Some of them are as follows. From the Rig Samhita 122.20. Tad Vishno Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Divyavachaksharatam. The personality of Godhead Vishnu is the absolute truth, whose lotus feet all the demigods are always eager to see. Like the sun god, he pervades everything by the rays of his energy. He appears impersonal to imperfect eyes. From the Narayana Natharva Shira Upanishad 1-2. Narayana Deva Samutpadyante, Narayana Pravartante, Narayane Praliyante, Atha Nityo Narayanaha, Narayana Vedam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yachabhavyam, Shuddho Devo Eko Narayano Nadvitiyosti Kaschet. It is from Narayana only that everything is generated, by him only that everything is maintained, and in him only that everything is annihilated. Therefore, Narayana is eternally existing. Everything that exists now or will be created in the future is nothing but Narayana, who is the unadulterated deity. There is only Narayana and nothing else. From the Narayana Upanishad 1:4, Yata Prasuta Jagata Prasuti. Narayana is the source from whom all the universe emanate. From Hayashirsha Pancharatra, Paramatma Harihi Devaha. Hari is the Supreme Lord. From Srimad Bhagavatam 11:3, 34, 35. Narayana Bidanasya Brahmana Paramatmanaha Nishtam Artha Arhat Nirtam Arhatano Vaktum Yuyam Hi Brahma Vittamaha. O best of the Brahmanas, please tell us of the position of Narayana, who is also known as Brahman and Paramatma. Siti Udbhava Pralaya Hetur Aheturasya Yat Swapna Jagara Sushuptishu Sadbahischa Dehendriyashu Hidayani Charanti Yena Sanjivitani Tad Avehi Param Narendra. O King, know him who is causeless and it is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He exists in the three states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, as well as beyond them. He enlivens the body, the senses, the breath of life, and the heart, and thus they move. Know him to be the supreme. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana चाक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So, we're in this beautiful chapter, the second chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The title of this chapter is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this chapter is dear Krishnaraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is establishing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's establishing there is no difference between Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this sequence, he is going section by section beautifully. So as you know, he takes the proofs and he provides a um, lot of proof for each and every statement he makes, and he's getting the proofs from different scriptures, mostly quoting from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and many other scriptures, Vedas and Upanishads, and everywhere. So it is very well written document, as we discussed in the previous class, in my earlier class, that Chaitanya Charitamrita is the sequence is the sequence of the flow, sequence of the flow of the topics are very well organized, very well knitted to make the reader understand the subject matter very well. There is no confusion, there is no jumping around. Like, if you see some other texts, like we see, like, someone is speaking but someone else will start again. There is nothing like that. It's a very nice sequence we can see, especially keeping the reader in the mind. Okay, a regular reader in the mind. So similarly in this situation, in this chapter, uh, slowly he started, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of this text, has started very nicely, beautifully, the importance of Krishna. Who is Krishna? He established Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now he is in this section where he is establishing Narayana, or he's giving the definition of Bhagavan, and he's also giving um, the qualities of a Bhagavan, and he's also establishing something called as there is no difference between Krishna and Mahavishnu, and eventually he says that um, Mahavishnu is a partial incarnation of the Lord. So those kind of details he gives, and eventually, as we go through this chapter, he establishes or he brings in Mahaprabhu, and he quotes. Actually, in the previous verse also, he has quoted many. If you see Srila Prabhupada, he has quoted every place that where and all Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was mentioned in the scriptures, and it was slowly being established here in the as we go through this chapter. We'll understand the Supreme Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Okay, so in this verse specifically, we see Paravyometi Boishe Naraina Nama Sadaishwarya Purna Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavan. So Lord Narayana, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in six appearances. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Goddess of Fortune. So, Bhagavan, when we say the definition of this word Bhagavan was provided by Parasara Muni. So, what was he mentioned? Parasara Muni mentioned, he quoted this.
Wealth, strength, beauty, knowledge, fame, and renunciation.
Yes, Mataji. And yeah, this is a six. So, Bhaga means opulences. What Praptya is called as Bhagavan. The one is defined as Vat Praptya, the one who possesses this anything before the suffix. The before word is called as one. Okay, so Bhaga is an opulence, and the one who possesses all these opulence is called as one. So he is called as Bhagavan. And these Bhaga, or the opulences, are explained by Parasara Muni. Aishwaresha Samagrasya, Viryasha Yashasriyaha, Jnana Vairagyayoschaiva, Sannam Bhagam Itingana. So he's saying that, sorry, Aishwaresha Samagrasya. Aishwarya means um, opulence of wealth, riches, right? Wealth, richness, right? So, Ashwarasya, how is that wealth? Is it little? Is it the richest guy in the world? The richest in the universe? Samagrasya, everything belongs to him. That is his richness. Everything. You name it, it belongs to him. Right? That is Aishwarya. That is the richness of the Bhagwan. Okay. All these qualities in Sama, in full capacity. Let's say if someone says, um, I know I'm going to bring some material examples here. Today, if um, there was at one point, Bill Gates was the richest guy in this world, right? He had this Windows was kicked in, and his PCs were selling left and right. His stocks were going so high, so he was the richest guy around 1990s and 2000 in that area. But right after him, Warren Buffett was announced the richest guy because his riches went away. Then again, now we have a competition. It's not a competition, but we see that sometimes Elon Musk was declared as the richest guy because his stocks were performing well. But now his stocks are down today. So that means he is not the richest guy. Someone else become richest guy. So the definition of richest person in this world is relative, meaning it changes with time. Sometimes someone can be rich, but the next day he may not be the rich person. But in case of Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is always rich. There is no one equal to that richness. Sama Grasya, it's full. He's in full. So that is his richness. And Viryasya, the second quality defined by Parasara Muni was Viryasya, strength. There is no one equivalent to him. Right? You know that story. Um, Mother Anasuya, Atri and Anasuya, they were meditating upon the Lord uh, for years together. And when Lord appeared, they asked, we want a son like you, right? Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead said that there is no one like me. I'm only one. So he had to appear himself to them. Like, he said that, okay, because you had the desire, what I can do is I can come myself with other two, like, Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. They appeared to her in their incarnations, right? Lord Dattatreya, Soma, and Brahmaji came as Soma, and Durvasa. So they appeared to um, Mother Anasuya. So that is the desire they had. So there is no one equal to him. So Viryasya, the strength, there were many instances, like, the people try to compare, and there were always Brigumani was challenged. Actually, Brigumani was asked, or Brigumani was asked to find out who is the best person in this in the whole creation, or the best personality. So he went to different places, different demigods, right? He went to Brahmaji. He finds some loopholes, some negatives over there, and he went to Lord Shiva's place, and he also finds some negatives over there. But when he went to Vishnu Loka, or Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha is a place where Narayana was sleeping, and Vishnu Murti was sleeping there, and Lakshmi Devi was attending him, like, giving massage to his lotus feet. Right at that time, Bhrigumuni wanted to test him very badly. He went and kicked on the chest of um, Mahavishnu. So what would a person, if he's the supreme personality of Godhead, there is no one above him. But Brigumani came and kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu. So what did he do? Did he curse him? Did he kill him?
He said, "Oh, my chest is so hard, like Vajra, and your uh, feet are so soft. So maybe you got hurt because of my chest."
Right. No, but in the very good Mataji, that's what happened. In the previous case, when he went and cursed Lord Shiva started chasing him with his Trishula. Right? He was running for life. Brigumuni was running for life when he cursed Lord Shiva and Lord Shiva. But in this case, Vishnu just came down of like, he made Brigumani sat on the Anantashesha. He came down of Anantashesha, and he started pressing the feet of Brigumani, saying that, "O Brahman, you are a devotee. You are my devotee. But because I gave a lot of hardship to you, because you kicked me, but my chest is super hard for your feet. So maybe you might have hurt." So that's why he was pressing his feet. Then, by that instance, Brigumani confirmed and concluded. He went to the Saptarishis, who had asked him to go and check it, and he profoundly said that there is no one better than Lord Vishnu in everywhere. Like, if Lord Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he's the best of whatever you see. All right, like, Lord Shiva, Brahmaji, they may be acting. That's a different story. But um, the the reality is, like, Lord Shiva, Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead. He's the best. Okay, that's what we are talking here. And Viryasya, when we talk about his strength, there is no one who can beat him, right? There was this we know the stories about um, Narayana mantra and other mantras. So there was a big war. Um, I'm not recollecting the whole story, but the story is like, there was a Shiva mantra and Narayana mantra. So Narayana mantra always succeeds, like, it overtakes or overpowers the other mantras. So that's one thing we have to see. And also um, Viryasya, right? Yashasyaha. So Yasha is the basically fame. So he's famous. He's everyone praises him, right? Everyone, his fame is unlimited. It's in full. So some people, like, we have some leaders. Sometimes we praise them for their leadership qualities. Tomorrow, if there is some small mistake, everyone will point fingers on them, right? But that's not with Vishnu. When he performs things, he performs, and his praise is always there. His names, the unlimited names he gets, are all from the activities he performs, right? So Vasudeva is because he's Vasudeva because son of Vasudeva. He's Makanchor, Ranchor. You name anything, it's all because of his phrases. It's all um, um, because of his activities. And all these activities are described in the Uttama Shloka. In the Uttama Shloka means all the selected verses of the scriptures describe the praise the Lord with the selected verses of scriptures. That's why he's also called as Uttama Shloka. Uttama Shloka means all the best shlokas describe his praise. That's why he's called as Uttama Shloka. So that is Yashaha. And Shriya, and his beauty. He's beautiful. There is no one more beautiful than himself. Krishna sometimes thinks that he gets stumbled upon himself looking at his beauty, right? There is a verse in third canto. Um, Krishna wanted to see himself, and he saw, and he was thinking how beautiful I am. So that is, he cannot believe how beautiful he is. So, and also everyone wants to have the beauty of, like, wants to absorb themselves in the beauty of Lord, right? You remember Gopi Geet, our gopis, they were cursing Brahmaji, like, why you have given us leads to the idols? We don't need leads, because in that moment of the flickering of that lead, we are missing the darshan of Krishna. We don't want to miss that darshan also. So that is the beauty Lord carries. So does this beauty only applies to the human beings? No, he was attracted by everyone, all the living entities. Everything wants to be with Krishna, right? Bumblebees, you remember all the stories, if you 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, everyone wants to be with Krishna. Cows and animals, deers, everyone wants to be with Krishna. So that's the beauty he carries. And Gnana, there is no limit for his knowledge. There is no limit because he knows everything that has happened, everything that is happening, everything that is going to happen. That is the knowledge. Who has such knowledge? Someone may claim that, I know and I can remember, like, from my birth to death. But who can claim that they know everything in their previous births, in the previous multiple births? He says to Arjuna, I mean, Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, I have spoken this knowledge millions of years back to Suryadev, and it was all, I'm sorry, to Vivashwan and like Manu, and that knowledge has been deteriorated now. That's why I am repeating it. It's not that the knowledge is not there. That knowledge is already there. It was there, but because in this material world we have a tendency to forget, we have a tendency to dilute the knowledge. That's when I have to come back and re-give or re and preach this knowledge again to all the, like, for the benefit of the living entities in this material world. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna 5,000 years back. So that's where he is fully knowledgeable. Now think about it, right? He has all riches, he has all strength, he's super powerful, he's super famous. There is no other one famous than him, right? He is all beautiful, okay, and he is full of knowledge. There is complete knowledge with these five qualities. What I'm trying to say is, like, if we have one of those qualities in full, no one can touch them, because they were already high. They were, the pride will just take over them, and they're always on the high, like, they become arrogant. They don't know how to behave, they don't know how to talk. even though they are acting as if they were humble, but that knowledge will that opulence which they are carrying, a part of that opulence what Krishna has, that carrying they're carrying, will make them fall down because of their arrogance. But the sixth quality what Krishna has here is the renunciation. And this renunciation is also is in full. His Atma Rama is not dependent upon anyone, and he doesn't have to show off. Think about that, right? The first example I gave you, Brugumuni, he came and kicked the Lord. Do you see the renunciation he's having? He doesn't even have a single, or at least iota of arrogance that, oh, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why is he hitting me? Or why is he kicking me? Who is he to kick me? He doesn't do it. He just fell down at the feet of Brigumani and he started um, massaging his feet. The other example, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing Rajasuya Yagna, right? There were all kinds of kings invited to that Rajasuya Yagna. And that Rajasuya Yagna Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing that Rajasuya Yagna on the suggestion or on the advice of Krishna himself. Krishna said you should perform Rajasuya Yagna. So Krishna was behind each and every plan. He was giving all the solutions, how to get money, how to get to perform Rajasuya Yagna. It's not easy. You have to have lots of wealth to perform Rajasuya Yagna because you are inviting all the kings of this universe. So when that Rajasuya Yagna was performing, even though Krishna had such a big role in this Rajasuya Yagna, even though Krishna is the one who suggested or advised Yudhishthira to perform Rajasuya Yagna, what was Krishna doing there? What was the Lord's role or what was his job in that Rajasuya Yagna? There, he was washing the feet of the kings. They're not even Brahmanas, they're regular kings. All the invitees who came to this uh, Rajasuya Yagna, who attended this Rajasuya Yagna, he was washing the feet of them, inviting them and asking them to take their seats. That was his job. Do you see the renunciation part here? That is Krishna. The other thing is like he became the chariot driver of Arjuna. Multiple examples. You think about it, multiple examples you see. He became the chariot driver of Arjuna. It says that when a king is fighting in the war, right? When a Kshatriya is fighting in the war, because of the sounds and because his mind is busy on like how to shoot, how to go, everything, the warrior will be kicking the shoulders of the charioteer on which way to take and which way to go, right? If he has to, if the warrior wants the charioteer to take a left turn, he'll be kicking his left shoulder. If he has to take the right turn, he will be kicking the right shoulder of the charioteer. That is the position a charioteer carries in a war, right? That is a position Krishna gracefully accepted for Arjuna, right? So that is renunciation. Another renunciation. The renunciation, he got the most um, um, devoted persons or devotees, gopis. Everyone was there for him. And because he found that they might have heard some kind of like little bit of arrogance building in them, he disappeared. He just disappeared. So if someone claims in this universe that he is the God, then this kind of renunciation has to be shown. This kind of renunciation has to be um, um, presented for everyone, right? he was blessed with everything. I mean, what do you mean blessed? He has everything. He has everything, but he himself is different. He's away. When um I'm taking different examples here. When Samudra Manthan was happening, right? In Samudra Manthan, different like demigods and demons, they were churning the ocean. When they were churning in the ocean, the um, uh, poisonous the poison came out at first, right? So Lord Shiva accepted it and he took it. After that, eventually there are many things they came up, which Aishvara, the horse came, Airavata, the elephant came, moon came, a lot of things came, gems and opulences, everything came. Eventually Lakshmi Devi appeared. When Lakshmi Devi appeared, Shiva was asked a question like, whom do you want to marry? Lakshmi Devi was finding fault in everyone. She said that Brahmaji is this, Lord Shiva is always in the thing, so she doesn't want to marry. She found faults in Indra, and she said, "I want to marry Vishnu. Only Vishnu is my lord, and I want to marry Vishnu." But the problem there was Vishnu is not interested in me, right? Because he's super renunciant. I mean, he doesn't want anyone. So her predicament was the whole universe was looking at that point of time to marry Lakshmi Devi, but Lakshmi Devi wanted to marry Vishnu, but Vishnu is not much interested in Lakshmi Devi. Do you see the thing here? So that is a renunciation what Lord Vishnu carries. So that's why he is called as Bhagavan. Bhagavan is full of six opulences, right? So Paravyometi Bhavishya Narayana Nama Shad Aishwarya Purna Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavan. So he is Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavan. He is the husband of Lakshmi Devi. The whole universe is looking forward to get appliances from Lakshmi Devi, right? Unless, yes, unless we have a blessing of Lord Vishnu, how can Lakshmi Devi offer anything to us? Yes, she may offer some material appliances, but they may go away because the real jewel is Lord Vishnu here. The real appliance, the real because Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavan, the whole um, every living entity is looking to make money, make something, make appliances, and they approach Lakshmi Devi. Unless we pray to Lord Vishnu, how can Lakshmi Devi be pleased? Right? She may give some temporary benefits, but that's not gonna stay with us for a long time. To please Lakshmi Devi, we have to please Lord Vishnu, Lord yeah, Krishna. So that's where yeah, Shad Aishwarya Purna. Shad Aishwarya, like six appliances. Purna is important verse. Samagrasya, that's what the word Parasaramani uses. Samagrasya or Purna. Purna is in full. Yes, these appliances, six appliances in full. We may have, like, in this world, some people may have, like, little bit of appliance, a partial little bit of, like, maybe more than everyone else, but he's not Purna. And that is also not permanent. As I said, today someone may be rich, tomorrow someone else will be rich. Today someone may claim that he's the powerful guy, but tomorrow he's no more. But that's not the case with Bhagavan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always full, always opulent, always um, like it can be past, in present, or future is always there. His knowledge is unlimited. So that's why when Ananta Shesha, he is glorifying the pastimes of the Lord continuously with thousands of his mouths, but still it's not finished because Ananta Shesha is an incarnation of Lord. So they are existing for eternal. Like there is no time limit we can put on them. Hey, maybe some trillion years or something like that. No, there is no time limit. They were existing all the time. So they know, and they're existing in each and every universe. There are millions of universes when the creation happens. So that's what we're talking in the material world. But then think about how much material world is only the one third portion of the one third portion of the spiritual world. So what we're talking here is like this is unlimited. So that is Bhagavan. So if someone says someone is Bhagavan, some pata nahi, like some Bhagavans, like they call, I don't want to take names, but no, they call these material people as Bhagavans, but they don't have any quality. They don't have any matching quality that is related to Krishna or Vishnu. So there is no Bhagavan. Only Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the Bhagavan, because there is no match for him in any way. In all the six appearances, there is no match. There is no match. Forget about all these good things, but there is no match up in renunciation also. No one can beat him in the renunciation also. So that is Bhagavan. So Lord Narayana, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in six appearances. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Goddess of Goddess. That is verse 23. Let's go to verse 24. Veda Bhagavata Upanishad Agama Purna Tattva Jare Kaha Yahi Jare Sama. Right? The personality of Godhead is He who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to Him. So, this absolute whole. So, who says that? Who says that He is absolute whole? All the scriptures. What are the scriptures? Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, Agama. Agamas are other scriptures. Okay, there are many agamas. And Purna Tattva, they absolute whole. He's an absolute whole. Yare kahe, nahi yara saman. There is no one equal to him. This is important. There is no one equal to him. No one can match his powers. No one can match his appearances. So that is this verse, and Srila Prabhupada quotes from different scriptures, multiple scriptures here. Just some of them he gives, right? There are innumerable authoritative statements in Vedas. Why Sri Prabhupada is quoting from Vedas? In Bhagavatam, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it has been enormously said that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But some schools of thought, like they claim that ISKCON or Srila Prabhupada, they just quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, and I don't. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Charitamrita mostly. So he wants to come out. Srila Prabhupada wants to come out of that thought, like, come out for them and give the proof from different scriptures, right? So in Rik Samhita is quoting from verse to verse with their numbers. So this is super important to understand here, that they're not vaguely said. They have a proof for everything, right? So Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suraya. Suraya are the demigods, right? All the demigods. When we say demigods, like all the Devi Devatas, they, what do? They, Sada is always Pashyanti. They always look upon. Look upon to what? They always look upon to Paramam Padam, the lotus feet, or the feet that can deliver. The Paramam Padam, the lotus feet of whose lotus feet? Tad Vishnu. That Vishnu. That Vishnu's lotus feet, all these Devi Devatas, they always look upon them, right? For a devotee, um, the lotus feet of the Lord is super important. They have that attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord. Their observation of the lotus feet of the Lord, they just like some devotees, they have super attraction to the names of the Lord, right? When they chant the names of the Lord, they feel the nectarian taste flowing into their mouths. Like they that's the taste they observe by chanting the pure nama. Similarly, some devotees, or most of the devotees, when they see or observe the lotus feet of the Lord, they get involved, they get absorbed uh, deeply into the devotional mood, just by remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, just by seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. See, you see the lotus feet of the Lord, beautiful I'm forgetting the verse, but there is a beautiful verse describing the lotus feet of the Lord in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam also right now. Uh, I'm not recollecting the verse, but it's a very beautiful verse. It explains the half moon shape of the toenails of the Lord's lotus feet. And it explains the all the signs on the lotus feet, on the sole of the lotus feet of the Lord. And it also explains that the tulsi leaves which were offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So that lotus feet is very dear to the devotees. So this verse is saying that that Vishnu's lotus feet, which can deliver everyone, that lotus feet or Pashyanti are being watched or are being are being watched, yes, seen are seen by the Devis and Devatas like Surya, all the demigods, right? Diviva Chakshuratatam. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, that Vishnu, so he is present everywhere. In which way? Diviva Chakshuratatam, like the sun, when the sun is present, the sun rays are, let's say when the sun comes on the horizon, right? Rises on the horizon, then you see the sun rays spreading around. We see the daylight, right? The whole night will, the darkness of the night will go away, and that will be dominated by the sun rays. Similarly, um, the presence of the Lord, the Lord's effulgence will present everywhere. Okay, that's what it is saying. Like Samhita, the personality of God Vishnu is this absolute truth, whose lotus feet all demigods are always eager to see. Like the sun god, he pervades everything by the rays of his energy. He appears impersonal to imperfect eyes. So it's saying that for the imperfect eyes, right? There is this verse in um there's like Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 11. Vadanti tattvadas tattvam vijnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. वदन्ति तत्त्वविदस् तत्त्वं विज्ञानम् अद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति Bhagavan iti shabdate. So, learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan will be in three forms. What are those three forms? For the imperfect eyes, he may be Brahman. Brahman means effulgence. Some what he is saying here. He appears impersonal to the imperfect eyes. If you are not knowledgeable enough that there is something called a sun that is giving this light, you wake up in the morning, you see the light. That's it. You think that there is no one called a sun. It's just a sun. I mean, if the eyes are not perfect, you don't see the sun. You see the light and you think that the light is there. That's it. There is, but if the eyes are perfect, you go into the details. Oh, there is someone called as sun. There is some object called as sun. And if you are a devotee or a knowledgeable person, then you will understand that there is someone called as sun god, the personality who lives in the sun, or the personality who is like it's a deeper, not lives in the sun, but it's the deeper view of sun, right? You see the sun rays, you see the sun, and you see the the sun god. Similarly, there are three of them. So what are those three? Brahmeti, Brahma, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So we talked about Bhagavan, six appearances and everything. So that Bhagavan is the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is, for absolute truth, there may be three forms: Brahman, which is an effulgence of that Lord, and the other one is Paramatma, though this Paramatma is the super soul, and the third form is Bhagavan. If you are a devotee, you will think about the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So, all imperfect eyes in this case is if a person is a knowledge seeker, if a person is not into devotion, if a person is not into connecting or building a relationship with the Lord, then he sees this universe, or then he sees the Lord as a Brahman. It's not wrong, but it's not imperfect, or it's not a perfect way of watching the Lord. It's not the perfect way of seeing the Lord. He's seeing it as a effulgence of the Lord. He just sees it as an effulgence. He just wants to be. It's a Brahman, so he wants to be there. But a yogi, in the next higher level to that is a yogi. Yogi is the one who performs austerities, like Dhruva Maharaj also performed austerities. So what was he watching? When he was chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, he was meditating upon the Lord's 400 feature, or the Paramatma, in his heart, and he had a very clear vision of that 400 form of the Lord, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. He was visualizing, he was seeing, and he was meditating upon the Lord. That's what yogis do. That's what is the Paramatma form, right? Um, Now, the Bhagavan feature is for the devotees who wants to build a relationship with the Lord. They serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of a Bhagavan. Bhagavan is a personal feature. What is the personal feature of the Lord? Personal feature is, you say that he exists, he has legs, he has lotus feet, he has lotus hands, he has lotus mouth. He can offer, when we offer, he can eat. When we when we dance, when we do anything, he's there. We have a feature, like we are treating him as a person. So that is the perfect way of seeing the Bhagavan. So that is that is Bhagavan feature of the Lord. So there are the three features, right? And the second verse Srila Prabhupada quotes is from Narayana Tharva Shira Upanishad. It says, Narayana Deva Samutpadyante, Narayana Pravartante, Narayane Praliyante Ato Nitya Narayana, Narayana Evedam Sarvam Yadbhutam Yachabhavyam, Shuddho Deva Eko Narayana Nadvitiyosti Kaschit. It says that Shuddho Deva Eko Narayana, there is only one Narayana. Dvitiyo, no Dvitiyo asti kaschit. There is no second Narayana. Narayana is Narayana. There is no one next to him. So that's what it's saying. So it's very good. It is from Narayana only that everything is generated, right? By him only that everything is maintained, and in him only that everything is annihilated. So we know that, right? Mahavishnu. If you remember Mahavishnu, Karunadakshay Vishnu. So when he exhales, all these universes appears. That means his creation. Everything is created from him. Everything is generated from him, right? From him, everything is maintained. Everything is maintained by him, right? All then he creates, he maintains, he turns into he expands into Garbhodakshay Vishnu. He expands into Shirodakshay Vishnu. He expands into Paramatmas. So that's why he maintains. Then when he inhales, everything goes back to him, right? So therefore, Narayana is eternally existing. Everything that exists now or will be created in the future is nothing but Narayana, who is the unadulterated deity. There is only Narayana and nothing else. Na dvitiyosti kaschati. There is nothing other than Narayana. That's what. Eko Narayana na dvitiyo asti kaschati. There is nothing except Narayana, nothing else. From Narayana Upanishad 1:4, Yatah Prasuta Jagata Prasuti. Narayana is the source from whom all the universe emanates. Right? We have seen again and again in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Canto 3, Cosmic Manifestation. We have heard these stories, or we have learned about this. From the Hayashirsha Pancharatra, Paramatma Harir Devaha. So, as I said, Hari is the Supreme Lord. Hari is the Paramatma. So that's what it is saying here. From Srimad Bhagavatam 11:3, 34, 35. Narayana Abhidhanasya Brahmana Paramatmanah Nishtam Arthartano Vaktum Yuyam Hi Brahma Vittamaha. O best of the Brahmanas, please tell us of the position of Narayana, who is also known as Brahman and Paramatma. So Narayana is a Brahman and Paramatma. That's what they're saying. Okay. So, O king, know him who is causeless and is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So, what does causeless mean here? Sthiti Udbhava Pralaya Hetur Ahetur Ashya. So, here he is causeless. Means there is no cause for him. For us to exist, we have a cause. We have like if a child is taken birth, that means there is a cause. There is a father and mother who has given birth to his child. But there is no cause for Narayana. There is no cause for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is causeless, right? And yet he is the cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. And yet he does all these three. He exists in the three states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Okay, as well as beyond them. He enlivens the body, the senses, the breath of life, and the heart, and thus they move. So if something is moving in the body, something we are proud of, that we are achieving something, or something we are proud of doing some services or anything, we cannot do without Paramatma. So it's all happening because of Paramatma. So that's why whenever it's a good practice, whenever we achieve something, or whenever we say that I did this, instead of saying that I did this, it's better to say that with Krishna's mercy, I was able to do this. With Krishna's mercy, I did this. With Lord's mercy, I did this. So that's a good habit to do. I mean, good habit to practice. That give the credit to Krishna, and that's the reality. It's very hard for the materialistic people to make understand that it's not me, it's someone else who is doing it. But wherever and whenever possible, we should give the credit to Paramatma, and that credit is a real credit. We are not um, doing some fake credit, or we're not doing some um, wrong thing here. We just have to give credit to the Lord because of his existence, because of his power, because of his blessings. We were able to do a lot of things. Even a hand cannot move without the blessing of the Lord. So it says here, right? The body, the senses, the breath of life, and the heart, and thus they move. Know him to be supreme. So these are some of the verses Srila Prabhupada gives in the purport. Okay. Um, I want to stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So nice. Very nicely explained, Prabhuji. As usual. Very nice. I was just meditating when you said like he was just washing the feet. So I remember that Mahabharata song, like, Padha. So can I sing like 1 minute, Prabhuji? That one?
Sure, Mataji.
पढ़ पाउन के पग धोए रहे हरि पीतांबर से पूछ रहे हैं जो नाथ है तीनों लोकन के वे लोकन के सब दास बने हैं हरि उपकारी करे उपकार तो पतझड़ भी मधुमास बने हैं. So nice, like Prabhuji, what you were mentioning, like he is Bhagwan, he has all the opulences, and he was washing the feet of all the people who were coming to Ashtabhagya. So he can do anything. So he is Bhagwan. He can do anything for his devotees. Like for Pandavas, he was doing. So amazing. So very nicely explained, Prabhuji, each point. So wonderful to hear from you.
Thank you, Mataji.
And Prabhuji also, here in same time, he, after the everybody finished the dinner, he pick up all the dishes, empty dishes after that, in the same Rajsuya Yagna.
Oh, I don't know about that, Mataji.
Okay.
I remember. I heard that it was dishes. I don't know about that, Mataji. I don't know if someone
He
mentioned
was picking up all the pattals, the
Pattas, after finishing
leaves,
and
the
the
also
leaves, right?
the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
prasadam.
temples also. That seva also he was doing in Ashok.
Okay.
He is a Lord. He can do anything. He is like amazing. There is no
Yeah,
comparison.
that kind of pronunciation, I don't think we can see anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Haribol.
And regarding the Bhrigu Rishi, Vishnu did not get mad, but Lakshmi ji get mad on a Brahmana, that if Brahmana will get poor. That's what also I heard the story.
Yeah, Mataji, there are stories also. Like the extension of the story is that um if you see Tirupati Balaji, he appeared because Lakshmi Devi left that world, Vaikunta, and she moved to Earth. That's why he came down to pacify her and take her back also. So that's another story. That's there are many stories linked, right? When Krishna performs some pastimes, he has multiple goals to achieve in there. So that's another one. You're right. Okay, so Simeshwar Prabhu. I think Simeshwar Prabhu is busy. We can drop the call. Right? Okay, thank you all very much for joining and listening to me. It was great being with all of you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
You can do one Kalpataruscha,
Krishna,
Kripasinduevacha,
Kripasinduevacha.
Tatpajanam Bhavanebhyo, Vaishnavyo.
Namo Namaha. Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Okay,